In here. We're going live right now in Facebook and just getting going. Thanks so much for joining us. You guys are awesome. We're seeing Josette out there, Tara, Jamie, Kimberly, Andrea, Latrita. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Appreciate it. And all you guys that are getting going on Facebook, appreciate it.
Yep. Mom is finishing watching the end of it because we didn't want to be late for you guys and just making sure there's nothing else that we're missing. We feel like we got the general stuff of this, and I'm so excited about today. Today's awesome.
So starting off with our wins, any feedback from and how you guys did with this last week's dare over the weekend dare, and any wins from this last weekend?
Jamie.
I actually have possibly 3 potentials interested in signing up. So I'm waiting for them to kind of give me the go that they're going to do it. But I've given them a lot of information, so I'm just kind of waiting for them. So
awesome.
And that's okay. So I'm going to ask you, that's from going into groups, that's doing your content. Where is that kind of?
Really?
So one of them is actually a brand new customer, but she's we're junior high friends, and she just watched me, and she's like messaged me afterwards, and she's like, I think I want to join. So I was talking to her about that. The second one is a random. I don't really know who she is. I just kind of threw the groups and stuff and was like, I just kind of asked her, have you ever even heard of paparazzi? And then asked her like what she did and stuff like that. And then the third is the person that found me through paparazzi, like just going to the paparazzi website and searching. So
super awesome. Do you have a time that you're following up with them?
So I'm unsure on the time frames on that, because I've never had this happen like that. So I didn't know how often to really do it, or to be like how to kind of approach it.
Yeah, great practice. Yeah, great practice. I would say something that we've heard with Eric Worre is try and give some sort of time to follow up. Be like, okay, awesome. Like, do you mind if I follow up with this Thursday? Or if you give them something to look at, when do you think you'd be able to finish that so I can follow up with you about it? Because if it's open-ended, we're all busy. We all have plenty of things to do, right? But if there's an actual date to follow up with, then there's more of a pressing or a need for them to get those things done, or for you to follow up on. And if they're not ready to follow up, it's okay. Set another follow-up date, but fortune is in the follow-up. So at times we let our ego come out and we get kind of like a little scared to keep following up, but it's like, just keep following up.
And I feel like too, I'm going to put in my, to go with that. I watch every like 2 to 3 days. So if I'm not in that constant contact, that I don't want people to feel it like it's like a car salesman. It's like, oh my gosh, you just want the sell. You don't care about me. And so there's times where I will kind of watch their Facebook, and I'm not stalking them. I'm researching them. And
researching.
You guys, it's great. And I see if they have a story that they've posted, because you have the ring around there, or I just see if they've posted anything, and I kind of go every day and I see something, or if it's been 2 or 3 days and I see that they posted something like 1 or 2 days ago, I'll go and say a message. Oh my gosh, I saw your cute post, or your post about this. It came up in my feed that you posted yesterday or today, and I comment something on that. So I'm showing interest in them as a person, or asking if it's something about family or whatnot, like your kids are so cute, or whatever it is. Yeah. So I kind of form the question that way instead of just straight about the business. I try to do something personal in there to care about them.
Yeah, try and make it not seem salesy. I think that's a pretty easy way to do it. Great. Thank you so much, Jamie. Awesome. We're super pumped for you. Pamela.
My win is that I got offer from Facebook and Instagram to get paid for my reels now.
No way.
Yeah.
Super awesome. From how long you've been doing it with everything?
Well, I normally so I have been like pretty even, but just this week I got it where it's dived high enough and the hours are high enough that now they want to pay me for my reels for Facebook and Instagram.
Wow, that's super awesome. Super awesome. Good for you, Pamela.
Way to go. Any other wins?
One last one. Anybody else? Looking over in Facebook. Let's see. Okay, well, maybe we'll get going. How does that sound? Cool. Well, we're super pumped for today. Today is talking about our personal brand and creating content behind, like, we've heard know, like, and trust, but we're going to kind of dive down into know, like, and trust and how we create content so to help people know, like, and trust us. Okay. So the idea of our personal brand, it helps people to like know, like, and trust us. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And in order for someone to buy from you, we've heard from that they got to know, like, and trust you. Okay.
And how often do you guys do, where I do this all the time because there's so many different scams and things out there. There's a cute shirt or something I like. Well, I'll go and search that to make sure that it's like, I don't know the company that I'm seeing an ad for. So I'll go look it up on Amazon or somewhere that I trust, or I'll go look for reviews. And so it's kind of doing the same thing of getting you out there that people see, oh, you are who you are. You are a person to trust. I will go shop from them. And so it's kind of going more into this, which I think is awesome.
Right. So basically you kind of create a little funnel of getting people to know is at the top, like is in the middle, and the trust. Because if you trust something, you're going to buy from it. Right. So just like, I mean, Brittany was just saying Amazon, I don't individually know the seller, but I know Amazon. I like them because they provide great service, and I trust them that they'll show up for me, that they'll send me stuff, or if not, they'll refund it, in most cases. So I trust them. And that's different companies that we go to. And that's what we're trying to get people to know, like, and trust us from different levels of content. And we're going to go into each one of those. Okay. So the top one is no content.
And where he came with this is he said that people have, Fraser, he said, people have come to him and said, should I do this type of marketing? Should I do a sales funnel? Should I do this? And he's like, no, go on Facebook. Because on Facebook, you can do that same type of sales funnel that you've got the people that are getting to know you. And as they get to know you, then they start to like you. And he's like, really, they're loving you. And then it goes down to they trust you. And so that turns into sales, that turns into team members, that turns into so many different things. So it's good to have that you're creating this thing. And so he said the way to get people to know you is by doing Facebook Lives and Facebook Reels. He said it's not
Reels altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Reels altogether. So in any type of platform, Reels in anywhere will help you, and then Facebook Lives.
And he said that it's not stories, where stories are really good for other aspects. But if I do a reel and Robbie comments on it, then Facebook is going to see, and it's the algorithm. They're going to see, oh, Robbie liked it. So people like Robbie that like this type of stuff, then they're going to put it out to Robbie's friends. And so that's where it's good, because that's where it goes out more, the reels and the lives. But if it's a story, stories are more personable, that those are more for the people that have liked you or they love you, because they're going to see those. But if they comment on that, that's not going to go out to their friends. That's not going to go out to people. So to really kind of get you known, that's going to be through Facebook Live. He said not Instagram Live. It's Facebook Live and the Reels, which Reels on all the different platforms.
Yep. And he said also other ways to get known are in Facebook groups, what we've been going through, and YouTube. So that's another way. But the other reason with Instagram, Reels, and Stories, again, just to reiterate that, is just to summarize, is in order for people to see your stories or Instagram Lives, they have to be following you. And so to get more people to know you, these are ways to get people more eyes on you that aren't following you or friends with you. So it's any type of reel, any type of platform, and Facebook Lives. Because if you're watching a Facebook Live and someone's interacting with you, if they're liking and engaging with you, the algorithm is going to see that and it's going to send it out more to their friends. So that's how you get more eyes on you. Okay. So that's the first level. And this is where he kind of went into this little example of levels of connection. And he said, first of all, here's the heart. He kind of did like a bullseye. First of all is you. Okay. And the right outside of you is your first level of connections. And those are people like your friends and friended you, basically that are following you. And then outside of it is your second level of connections. Okay. And those are the people that as they follow you and like your content, like your reels and stuff, they're going to be shown to those people. And then it's going to keep going more and more and more and more. But if that first level, if they don't like you, If they don't like the content, it's not going to be sent out to the rest. Okay. So that's why you're trying to find this content and people that are liking you, like the content, because if they like it and engage with you, then they're going to push it. Then the algorithm's going to push it out to more people.
And so, and I'm going to hurry and say this comment that just popped up, which Kimberly just said that she goes, this is so true because I have seen more people follow my personal page ever since the reels I did went viral. And so it's just as they kind of go, and they're more likely to go viral if you are doing content that is, so if I have, I'm doing about, there's different things, there's educational, but if you're saying here, I'm doing about golf and I'm doing about cooking, and then I'm doing about fashion, I'm doing about this, it's kind of trying to figure out the type of person. And then if it goes golf and it kind of goes out to a bunch of golf people, well, those people come and they see it's about cooking. They're like, why do I want to follow her? Right. And so that's where it's like, here, kind of pick the type of content you're doing, where you're doing in your stories. Here, I am doing this, where like, if you see me, I'll put in there, my stories are more, here's about what I'm doing day to day. This is about my kids. This is about this, that it's more in the moment of people kind of getting to know you. And so that's when it goes into the people that have already liked you or they love you. They want to know what's going on in your life. And so there's things that I do that I'm like, oh my gosh, people don't care about this, but there's people that I follow that they'll like do a thing of like, look, I'm sitting here at my desk working. I'm like, why? And to me, I'm like, I don't want to post that, but people love to know what you're doing. And so when you create this community that like you and love you, and then it's moving into the trust, they want to know what's going on. They want to see those little fun things.
Yeah. So just to something I'm just going to reiterate what Brittany was saying is the level of content that you create. If you have too many avenues of content that you create, it's confusing when people come to know what they're following. And then it's confusing for the algorithm to push out. Like if I've got 5 or 10 things that I'm liking in, that I'm like posting stuff about dogs and sewing and fitness and fashion and all these different things, it's hard for you to go viral, because if you have a kind of a more of a flow of your content, the algorithm will be able to see that and push it out to way more people. Okay. So if you're going into these groups and you're going to like a fashion group and you're kind of posting jewelry, then it's easier to be able to like, oh yeah, I like this stuff. I like the content that she's creating. Okay, sweet. I'm going to push that more. Okay. And so Brittany was just going into the like level of content, right? So in the know content, in order for people to know us or get to know us, or even more people to get to know us or follow us, it's through any type of reels, any type of
live, Facebook Live,
any type of platform on reels. We've heard YouTube shorts are doing really well right now. Facebook Lives, Facebook groups, and YouTube. Okay. Then for people to like and love you and the types of content is through live video. Brittany talked about stories and creating that community. That's how people get to love and like you. Okay. That's the type of content you want to create. Okay. Anything else with that before we go into trust?
And then, no, I think I hit that.
Okay.
No. And then trust is
the trust level of content is
the people that they are there no matter what, and they trust you. They want to follow you on this journey. It's more of what was the example that say that somebody I said, here, you want to go get your nails done at this place. Well, people on my Facebook, it's like, oh my gosh, I know you, I trust you. I'm going to go get my nails done there. I'm not going to research them. I don't care, because I'm going to do that. It's the same thing. This is my jewelry girl. Like, you don't need to go anywhere else. Like, this person will take care of you. They bend over backwards. Like, this is your girl. Here's their link. Like, you want to create this community where people love you and they trust you so much that they are referring you and they're doing the work for you. They're your referrals. They're your hot leads. So those are your customers right now. Those are the people that are like, no, you have to go shop from her. She's got the best product. She's got the best service. She takes the time. She knows all about me. How do you give that love back? And these people just bend over backwards for you and they just love you.
Yeah. So breaking this down in the type of content, there's not a type of content for this. Okay. To get people to trust you. The way you get people to trust you is through truth and time. And through truth and time equals trust. So what he means by that is by being your true self and being relatable and being vulnerable and being you, and what you like, the value you provide to them and the level of time that you do it, it creates trust. So if I was in one network marketing company and I went through 5 different network marketing companies and someone has seen that, like a family member throughout my life for the last like 5 years, it's kind of like, I don't know what to trust you because you seem really passionate about each one and you bounce around so much. It's like, I don't really know. Okay. Or if you're into too many different things, I'm just like, I don't know what to trust you on because I feel like you've got too many things, right? So what you're trying to do is create that trust through the truth and time. And he said longevity creates credibility. So you're trying to create that trust through people, through time, just like Amazon. Amazon's been there for, 5, 10 more years, right? And I trust them that they're going to show up in an extended period of time. Okay. So like Brittany was saying, is they will either buy from you when they trust you, or they will trust you enough to share what you offer to other people as well. Okay. So that is the goal.
And that is something that I'm going back to when I was sitting on the beach with Misty Kirby. I was talking to her about a scenario where somebody was asking me for some referrals. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't have any referrals to tell you. And she's like, if somebody is good enough at their job that they don't need to ask for referrals. She's like, people will just come to them. And she's like, if you do a good enough job on your end, so me, if I do a good enough job showing my customers and being there and showing content and showing up and being present, my customers are going to share me out to all their friends or to different places because they love me enough that it's just, they're going to put it out there. And so I just try to show up for my best self. And so does that make sense what I'm saying?
I think so.
And so that's the other thing is by you showing up, by you being present, by you being there and just loving on these people that are there, they're going to just do it naturally. And you being vulnerable with them and just talking to them, they're going to tell their friends and their family, and they're going to share you out there, which is going to bring you more business.
So somebody said at the end is we're going to wrap up with a few things and then come up with Darren, and then we'll open up to questions. He said, although trust is the key, we want to there's this funnel. We talked about know, like, and trust. Trust is the bottom. It's kind of this funnel is we're getting a bunch of people that try and know us, and then we're going to try and convert them to like us and then convert them to trust us. Although trust is the key, right? But if you don't get people to know you and going out there to help people to know you and get them, bring them to you, there's kind of like, it's hard to there's no point, right? So what he said is when you create content, 80% of the content you create, so let's say you batched content and you pick one day and you create content for the whole week, or throughout the week you're creating content. He said 80% of the content you create is no like posts, no content posts, which the no type content is Reels, Facebook Lives, the Facebook groups, and then YouTube. And then he said the other 20% are what like types of content, which are live video, stories, and community. Okay, so he kind of split that up that way in order to get a lot of people to start getting to know you. And then by having that like content, people can start getting to know you and like you, love you. And by in time and consistency, people start to trust you. Okay.
So it's just taking your content and it's like, here, I'm going to do more of this, but over time you do what you can. That's like, here, I'm going to do these reels. And he talked about 3 different types that it's like, there's educational type of content you're putting out there, inspirational, and conversational. And so what educational is you're giving value. You are getting them to know you more. So is it value in regards, and we've talked about this, in regards to fashion, in regards to if you're a single mom, I'm going to give you some tips of how to make your life easier, or if you are whatever you're going through. So some of those things that are within your interest that we've talked a lot about.
And that could be business, that could be personal development. So those are some things.
Inspirational, it doesn't necessarily, and that's where me inspirational, I just think, oh, it has to be something that's spiritual or it's this. But what he said too is, which I love, is it's progression comes from inspiration. So you're giving them some sort of, or no, he said, one, you're telling stories. You're talking about, inspirational can be about your brand, about relationships, about travel. And the inspirational, it's more of also that people like to see your progress. So it's like, here, I am telling you about this. This is my progress getting there. They don't care about what happens at the end. It's like, here's my progress of traveling. Here's my progress of what I'm going through with my kids. Here's my progress of this. So there's people that love, that can be a part of inspirational, or you can tell them a quote. You can do spiritual stuff. That can all be in that inspirational.
They want to see your transformation.
That's
so,
the word.
So a huge part, I'm going to take a little side note real quick, is whenever you watch a movie, there's literally a formula of how like Disney and a lot of people create stories and write scripts for movies. And it's taking you on this journey from where this person was before. It's their background. You get to know them. You get to know what they want, and then you get to know their little bit inner desire. So I'm going to use the example of Cars. Lightning McQueen. I'm sure a lot of us have seen Lightning McQueen, Cars back in the day. Number one, Lightning McQueen. He's you see him as kind of an arrogant guy, but he wants to win the Piston Cup. Okay, and he goes along this journey. He gets taken off on this journey, and he gets lost in Radiator Springs. So like this hero of the journey gets lost. He goes out on a journey. Sorry, he goes out on a journey, and as he's finding himself, he's always looking for this Piston Cup up here, and he learns all these different stories along the way. He starts becoming, he starts transforming, and at the very end of the movie, what happens? He literally stops at the finish line. He's wanted this Piston Cup the entire movie. What does he do? He stops at the finish line, and he doesn't do it. He pulls back and helps the other person push through the finish line, and he actually starts thinking about other people more than himself, and he has friends now. That's what we love. And so like my mom's story, she went from cancer and like literally nothing to 7 figures, which is an awesome transformation. But the cool part about the story isn't the 7 figures, it's the transformation. She learned to love her life. That's what we care about. We care about the transformation. So that's what we want to portray to people. So even though, like, let's just say Tara, she's just signed up, a couple months ago, people want to see the transformation from where Tara started till now, and they want to see this journey. Okay. And that's what we love to follow. Okay. They want to see the journey. And even though we want to be the experts and we want to say that we're at the 6 figures or 7 figures, people want to see the journey and the transformation where you're at and what things you've learned along the way.
And what do you always say about your story? You tell me that all the time. People get sick of your story.
Customers will get, you will get sick of your story way faster than your customers will.
And so I say that, I'm like, and I get into that. I will be completely honest and turn myself in. I'm like, I already told my story. They all know my story. And he's like, do they? Do they really? How do you know what a new person's on? How do you know that they all know your story? And so you keep saying it over and over and over. If there's people, and I've heard too, well, I don't want to post this on my personal timeline because I've got friends from high school. Hello, if you haven't talked to them in 10 years, it doesn't matter. If they don't like seeing your stuff, then let them go. You want people that are there, that are going to follow you, that want to support you and be there. And so post stuff, don't be worried about that.
Yep. Be you. And try and create and tell your story. And we've heard in 2 minutes or less. Start trying to figure out a way to master your story, to be able to tell it in 2 minutes or less. So you can tell it on every live. It's okay. It's only 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes. And the more you practice it, the better you'll get. Okay, so let's end with the dare real quick, and then we'll open up the questions. Is that cool?
And we'll put in here also after the live, we'll make sure, because we did a training on how to tell your story. So we'll put that training link in there as well. So you guys, if you guys want to practice on that, there's that. Okay, so the dare today
is, he said that we're going to try and create our mission kind of statement, and we're going to make it very, very simple. This is something we want to even put. This is what we put in our bios. We want you to put in your bios for your brand. He said, here's what we're going to do. It's a simple sentence. I help blank. Who? This is homework for you guys. Who are you helping?
Is it women? Is it people? Is it single moms? Is it couples? Is it separated couples? I help who? Yeah, and it doesn't have to be, everyone can be different, but who are you? And he said, you can be specific. I help women in their 50s. I help moms that are in their this. You can be, the more specific, that's awesome, but you can do whatever you want.
And more specific is better. If you just say people, that's not very specific. Okay, you want more specific than people. Okay, so it's I help who blank, comma, to what. So an example is I help women to find financial freedom,
to create a life that they have dreamed of,
to find their inner beauty, to find confidence, right? But what is your personal brand that you're trying to put out? Okay, so you're going to create that statement. I help blank to blank. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. That's the first part of the homework, the dare. Second part is we want you to create a reel about it. We want you to create a reel and say, hey, I want kind of just on the reel. Hey, I want to share with everybody out there who I am, what I'm about, and what my mission's about. this is who I am and this is what I'm about. So if you want to learn more and you want to know who I am more, follow me.
And we'll make a post in the group if you guys want to post below it, like some ideas that you guys are doing, and you just put it below in the comments below there.
Yeah.
We'll just do the I help, the first statement, and you guys can put down below. But the dare is to figure out 1, what it is, and 2, make a reel about it.
And oh, sorry, I skipped one. Share your little statement into the group.
So we'll create a post, and then you put it in the comments.
Yep. So sorry, we're at 12:55. Maybe let's do one real quick thing before new releases. Jamie, your hand was up. I don't know.
Sorry, on the reels, I had a question. So what about the reels in like your groups or like your VIP groups and stuff, regarding for the content on that?
Are you saying like your selling page groups and stuff, or what?
Yeah.
So those you have, if they're in there, they're people that like and love you, or they're trusting you. And so those, it's just still, I would just kind of keep doing what you're doing in regards to creating conversation, creating, you're just trying to have them in those like more private groups, like creating that community. So doing questions in there just to get them to kind of talk. You can do some funny things. You can do some things with fashion because you're doing it within about your business.
Yeah, so I would try and find the types of posts that will help them continue to like you, love you, and then in time, like obviously trust you. I mean, they obviously trust you because they're still following you, but creating content around that. So that could be, like we're saying, lives, stories, creating that community aspect. So how do we create that community aspect? Through questions, conversational posts, different things like that.
Fashion Fix, they've got those different things on the tip cards. Take that, that's giving them value. Take that same information, put it in a reel or put it on a picture or something and put it out to them. Regurgitate that content.
So Brittany said at the very end of what we're doing the training, the different types of content we can create is educational, inspirational, and conversational. So we're creating content. How can I create this that's inspirational or conversational or educational for my
and the conversation is what we talked about 2 days ago. That was the this or that or those. So
we're at
we are 12:57. So Pamela, we'll have to have you ask, if you can ask tomorrow when you get on, and we'll have you start out first and ask your question. And then we will, sorry, today took longer with Fraser. So, but we'll let you guys get off and do new releases, and we'll create these 2 posts for you and we'll get going. So I love you guys.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, especially over on Facebook. We love you. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.